So when we're ground and pounding from the top here in mount, it's not the easiest to get a lot of power on punches, but you can still get a decent amount of power. Okay, we just need to know how to punch. Now, if I was to just use my arms like I was striking standing up, you can see there's really not a lot on it. I really need to use my abdominal muscles to crunch with my punches. And I'm throwing more of a hook than a straight. Number one, the guy is probably gonna block. Not the greatest thing to do is block, but he's probably gonna block. So these straight punches a lot of times are gonna go into his arms. It's much better to use hooks to attack the sides as well as the hole that's in between those arms if he's doing this, which is what most people do. Okay, so I'm using my core and I'm gonna bring my head off the line and punch downwards, right? So my forearm is like this, okay? It's my arm is bent in an L shape. And I'm able to get way more power. Same thing for the hooks to the side, like this. Okay, and a lot of ground and pound is done with the back of the knuckles. At least in my book, I would rather have this hit the face than this hit the face. You can see that this is just way harder to get power on than that. Okay, I'd way rather use this more of like a Russian hook. Watch Igor Vovchanchyn, watch Fedor. That's kind of the style that I like to punch. Boom, 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 boom. Always using the core, never really just using the rotation of the body. It's much more like this. Also, if my feet are like this, it won't be able to generate quite as much power than if my feet are like this. Just gives me the ability to punch a little more powerfully. But there's always a balance, right? This does afford them a little bit easier escapes. So you can play that however you'd like. Have a little less power and a little more stability in your mount position, or a little more power and a little bit less stability with my toes up. Now, the best thing to do in the mount, if you have the ability to do it, anyway, and you're not fighting in an amateur fight, is an elbow, right? Because elbows just do so much damage, just like tie clinch. Like if you're in a tie clinch and you're trying to punch the person, you're probably not gonna get as much power as you would like just because you're so damn close. I'm pretty close to this guy here, but this is a pretty short weapon. If I'm really, really close to somebody, I'm not gonna try to use a long sword, right? For medieval times, right? I'm gonna use a dagger, something that's much smaller, a lot more efficacy in close range. Same thing, when I'm elbowing, I don't wanna elbow with these slicing, rotational motions. I wanna go downward by using my core, like that. Bang, bang. Usually the person is gonna be doing this a lot of the time. So a lot of my lateral strikes like that are gonna end up hitting arms. So I'm always trying to split that guard like this, coming down that line. Now, a lot of times they'll be escaping and stuff like that. So they're turning on their side to need an elbow escape. This is a really good time to hit that ear, right? In MMA, what they say, what the ref will tell you is that it's still legal as long as you catch a piece of the ear. If you're hitting here, that's illegal. That's considered back of the head. But if part of your strike touches the ear, that makes it legal. This is a great situation for that elbow. You could also use a punch, but I feel like the elbow is just way, way stronger. And it's also way sharper. It's a bigger bone. It's pointier. There was one point where I was ground and pounding this dude. I might have talked about this in a video previously. Gord Cummings, I think his name was. He had just come out of the insane asylum, right? He just got off the 3rd floor of the PG hospital. They allowed him to fight. This guy was completely schizophrenic, just absolutely looping, right? And he came out with all these smoke and mirrors and like some crazy death stick that he thought he had all these superpowers. I got to mount on the guy and I was just hauling off with punches, man. And it wasn't really doing enough to finish him. and the guy was still down to scrap. As soon as I chucked a couple elbows at his head, that changed everything. He started tapping from strikes. Immediately started tapping from strikes after like 3 elbows. So that goes to show that elbows, a lot of the time, especially in close range, are far better than punches. They just hurt way more. We're looking at this elbow, boom, across and down. I also want to talk about this elbow, boom. We made a video on as well as to beat the 12-6 thing, right? This is illegal. Okay, this is not illegal. My hand starts down and I'm curling it up like this. Now look at that arm. That's not pointing to 12, that's 12, right? So I end like that, and that makes it a legal strike. And that will also do wonders to split that guard. Crunching, putting all your body weight down into it. One of my, not training partners, but I did train with the guy a couple times down in Vegas when I was like 18. Guy's name's Marvin, the Beastman Eastman. You don't know him, look him up, he was a savage. He said, if you put the tip of your elbow in the guy's eye socket, it will cut or break anything around there. All these structures are easy to break. All these structures are very easy to cut, very thin skin. So he always told me to try to put the tip of your elbow into the person's eye socket. Bang, like that. And then you're gonna break something, you're gonna cut something. The fight won't last very long. Bang, 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 bang. Nasty, nasty. If you wanna fight in MMA, like this right now, this is the perfect time to sign up for my pro fight guide. Every single video that I ever release, including the anti-wrestler guide, which is like 70 plus videos. We got the MMA Basics course that we're building right now, getting new videos out there every single week. This is my 22 years of MMA experience bottled up in one package. I fought in the UFC, I train elite guys. Ali Wasuk just won the belt, BFL Bantamweight champion. If you wanna be like this guy, get into this course right now. You also get access to my private community. You'll be able to talk directly to me, send me things that you're struggling with. Say you're getting armbarred by everybody, getting smashed by wrestlers, you're getting ground and pounded, whatever the situation is, let me know and I will personally help you. I can send you videos. You can send me your training videos, but I'm not letting too many more people in, so get in now before we close it off forever.